So Parikshit Bhaiya, did you give your sharing, individual sharing?
Yes, Didi, I was slotted in room 4 at 3 p.m. actually. So during the last session, I have shared.
Oh, okay, nice, nice. And you have shared your write-up also?
Write up, I miss. Okay, I will share. I will share.
Yeah,
Ji.
kindly share it, Bhaiya. So
Sure,
because
sure.
you're going to add it in the proceeding
Ji.
kind of
Yes, yes, yes.
document. Yeah.
नमस्ते इला दीदी, नमस्ते सोना दीदी।
Namaste, Didi. So Didi, can we start with your sharing? You can please start. Let me introduce our next individual, Dr. Manisha Gupta. Uh, Professor has completed BCom MBA in finance and MCom and has completed a PhD also in finance. She's worked as a professor and director at Punjab Institute of Management Technology, Alor Khanna. She's associated with UHV from the last 4 years, volunteering UHV activities as regional coordinator of Northwestern region of the AICT NCCIPT. Over to you, Didi.
Yes, didi. I'm audible, didi?
Didi, you're audible.
Ji. Namaste to all. I'm Dr. Manisha Gupta, and I'm living with my family in a small town of Khanna in Punjab. And I have worked as professor and director at a management college in Alor Khanna for 23 years. So I came across with proposals of UHV in 2014, and I found that the proposals that were shared in the workshop that I did, they all were naturally acceptable to me. And I could see that I want to live like that. But even I could observe that I am not living accordingly. I'm not able to live accordingly. I found a lot of gap between the way I want to be and the way I am. I explored that I want to be comfortable within always, and I want to be happy. However, for being happy, presently I was trapped in the loop of accumulation of physical facilities, then deprivation and unhappiness. Even I was not able to ensure fulfilling relationship with my kids, my other family members, because I was not giving priority to understanding myself and my relations with the others. Through the process of self-exploration, as proposed in UHV, in 2020, during Corona, when all the activities, they got halt, I got the opportunity to explore myself, and exercise 1 and exercise 2 of UHV helped me in observing myself. And I learned to be aware of my desire, thoughts, expectations, and to evaluate them in accordance to my natural acceptance. So that time I could do that. Actually, I could see that earlier I was trying to fulfill my need of happiness with physical facilities. But when I got that proposal, when I explored the proposal of self and body, I could observe that physical facilities can fulfill needs of the body only. I could explore that my need for happiness is fulfilled when I have good thoughts, thoughts, right feelings, and right understanding within me. As I go on with the proposals of understanding myself, I could feel the feeling of prosperity within me, and with the clarity that I have at present more than required physical things and money, which are sufficient to fulfill needs of my body, I got satisfied. And then whatever physical facilities were available with me, I started the right utilization of those. Even I could understand, I could notice my preconditioning that earlier I used to buy things just to avoid people saying that I am a miser. So from last 2 years, I am able to use my physical facilities, my belongings, my clothes, but there is a still need to go for right utilization for certain other physical facilities. Even I could observe that body is an important and useful instrument. And whenever I have awareness, I normally take decision to nurture it with right food. And so much so that even I'm not applying chemicals on my body. I'm using natural products to clean my body and face. But I have to go for using natural and homemade herbs for teeth. I'm planning for that, but right now I'm not using it. I'm also aware that sometimes I eat for getting happiness out of the food. But then also due to awareness, I consume very less. I'm following few things of health book also. I got clarity regarding my bath imbalance in the body. So I'm taking care of food and eating all those foods that are fibrous as suggested. I'm also getting up early in the morning and I observe my body, observe myself, and follow things to be free from constipation and indigestion. So I'm also taking care of health through the program of health as suggested, as I could see, as proposed, and I could explore, like right intake, lifestyle, etc. So I'm trying to follow that. But I also see the purpose of doing all these things, that I have to take care of the health of my body, and the purpose is to achieve my purpose, my own purpose, that is to develop right understanding and right feeling in me. But still, many times in unawareness, I commit mistakes, and I'm aware, and I'm trying to be aware all the time. And also with the feeling of prosperity in me, I could be able to take decision to work for a bigger purpose, that I have noticed that I have got clarity after exploring with UHV, and that bigger purpose of my life is to ensure happiness and harmony within me, and working for helping others to ensure their happiness and prosperity. And this is something that I aspire earlier also, but I could not decide to go for it due to pressures of my preconditionings. So I could see that I have to work for a bigger purpose in my life. So I am now working for value education and spending more time in understanding myself, understanding my relationship with my kids and family, and trying to understand relationship with others also. I'm contributing towards humane goal through the dimension of education sanskar on pro bono basis. As I have read many spiritual and moral texts, so I have strong beliefs of what is to be done and what is not to be done by us as human beings. So I used to be very strict and used to dominate my students and children because of my strong beliefs that this is right, this is wrong. So my students used to call me Hitler, as I was very dominating in the class. Later, when I explored with the proposals of relationship, I got the clarity that I feel comfortable and harmonious when I have relationship feeling, the feeling of affection and guidance for my students and children. My young daughter who used to feel fearful of me, so much so that she couldn't share her problems and feelings with me and express a lot of anger and irritation with me because of my problem that I'm not able to, like, I'm not good at relationship with her. I had lot of opposition for her. Earlier, she decided to reside in PG to prepare for her PG. But later, after 3 months, she decided to reside at home with me under my guidance. And I could see that it happened due to my feeling of affection for her during all her emotional ups and downs. So in a span of last 3 to 4 years, with the feeling of guidance and with the feeling of affection, I was able to discuss everything with her, and now she has been able to express all her feelings and problems with me. I also didn't have fulfilling relations with my husband, and as such, I used to have depressive thoughts and feelings within me. But as I'm exploring and trying to understand the relationship, I'm becoming aware of myself. I'm evaluating my beliefs and preconditioning, and I could realize that it was only my preconditioning and my expectations because of which I was disturbed. So I am able to set my feelings right for him. So now I'm able to see him helpful and complimentary to me in all my endeavors. So this feeling of relationship is not only extending with my husband, but with my in-laws and others also. I can observe that I'm getting free from complaints against my own mother-in-law, and the feeling of opposition has reduced a lot. Also, now I can propose instead of imposing on them. So I'm able to follow customs and rituals in the family with more clarity, without anger and irritation, because I can see a guide within me, my natural acceptance, which is making me more confident and organized. So a very small example I want to quote, that earlier I used to feel fearful in traveling alone at distant places. But now, even if my husband sometimes could not accompany, or even anyone else is there not there to accompany me, I don't hesitate to travel and even drive alone, and thus be able to complement my husband, and I'm able to work for my own purpose. Similarly, I do have fears to put my point in front of senior and learned people. That again has got reduced. So I feel gratitude to all who have helped me in this journey of self-exploration. I am able to live with more clarity, and I understand that this is a process, a journey, and I have to work more and more. And I have to work more and more for within me and also outside. Thank you. With this word, I end up my sharing. Thank you, Didi, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Didi. I request Ila Didi to share her comments. Any questions from the panel members?
Yes, Manisha Didi, we have been working very closely currently for the international conference. So my views are very similar to what I mentioned for Soumya Didi. It has been a very nice journey to try to achieve the same goal. And I really wish you all the best in your journey. We are all on the path, and I really wish you the best.
Thank you so much, Didi. So I'm also on this journey, and working with you, I have learned a lot. I'm always learning. You have lot of good, skills and various point of excellence I learn from you, and like how you're coordinating things, how you're doing so many things at one stretch. So I'm learning all from you. So it's been a great experience working with you. Thank you so much for being there and guiding. And I love to be with this UHV team.
Thank you, Didi. Moving forward to our next
Ji.
sharing, we have Dr. Swayamprabha Satpathy ji. Professor has been working as an associate professor in the Department of Humanities and is associated with UHV since 2021. Namaste, Didi. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Namaste, Didi. So I feel very happy and elated to be a part of this conference and to have this opportunity to speak on my individual sharing about the concept of prosperity, that is understanding prosperity with a value education perspective. Now, when I am associated with UHV since 2020-21, and ever since I joined, so understanding human values and its concept was an Herculean task for me, and it put me into a lot of introspection as to what am I and what I want to be. So my journey started with an exploration into the concepts of human beings, the coexistence of self and body. And while I went into the understanding of this concept, sometimes it appeared to me as these concept of happiness, prosperity, and its continuity was weird and something that was only wishful and not doable. But on further exploring, I realized that my basic aspiration is to be happy and prosperous. And it is indeed a fact that the basic aspiration for all individuals is also to be in happiness and prosperity in continuity. So this concept was quite convincing for me, and I put few questions to myself that basically what do I want? So do I want to be happy? And I got an answer, yes. And the next question what I put to myself is, do I want to be prosperous? And I did get an answer in the affirmative. And again, I pondered, if this was so, then do I want to be happy and prosperous always? And again, I got an answer, yes. Now, but then what haunted me was I wanted to be happy and prosperous always, but what is preventing me from being so? Why I couldn't find an answer? Because all I understood about prosperity is about earning money. I was so much into the rat race, and I thought that the more I earn, at least my generations will be safe and sound, and like I will not have any kind of stress. But having said that, my stress never came into a pause. However, I made efforts to, earn more and more. But then, if this is what is prosperity, then I always felt that why am I still not being happy? So why people around me are so unhappy? Because I see there is so much of turbulence around me in the environment. And whereas I had the concept that people who are successful are those veterans who had a lot of money, who had big houses and big cars. So until I further got some clarifications and experiential validation of the proposal that prosperity does not mean to accumulate wealth and be wealthy, but having more than required the physical facility, so it is beyond the material wealth that I had thought. And I further realized that my basic aspiration is not different from any other human being, to be happy and prosperous in continuity. So I understood that after I use as much as is required, my participation is more towards the larger order. So as I feel, we live on the basis of four aspects, that is harmony at the individual level, harmony in the family, harmony in the society, and harmony in the whole of existence. So when I saw this, I thought that I had to create a value for myself towards my participation in the larger order. So that could be in any way where I can facilitate others, where I can be more helpful to others rather than keeping all things to myself. And more surprisingly, I always used to buy a lot of clothes. And I used to always go by the trend that these clothes are trendy and it has to match. And I would earn a lot of respect through that. Or maybe, to be honest, sometimes I never used them to. It was all dumped up. But I felt that I was more, into fashion and the trending trends at that with those outfits. So now when I realize, when I have a deeper understanding towards this concept, I feel that that was so much, I was wasting the resources and I was accumulating again as a wastage. So I never rightly utilized the things which I could do. So I was really being so much ignorant about things, and I was trying to find happiness through outside sensation. And the most common understanding that I had as a layman is that if I own a big car, and so that would also give me a lot of respect and people would look up to me. And to some extent, my friends also added up that supposing you have this kind of an XUV, that suits your personality. So at times I was carried away by that. And sometimes, even not without realizing that at the top of it, it would also cost my pockets. But gradually, and I realized that a car is a car which could we are four members, and so my car would accommodate four members. So why I need to have a big car and go beyond something which is not needed for me? So there was another realization which I came to. Which came to me. My son was usually at home. I'm a working mother, so most of the time I used to feel that if okay, let me go and give him something. I saw he was upset for something. I used to get gifts for him and sometimes some clothes and whatever. So, but each time I got for him, it all gave a very momentary happiness. And I saw that my relationship never grew with my son. Rather, it was more into that particular momentary happiness that I could give him by gifting something or making him, eat something nice. And so that was not something which we were looking forward to. So, and I saw that the basic thing what I was required is I had to give him time. And so all this, I saw that this was very temporary, that was there, and it was not a source through which I could make him happy. So it was something, a sensation which gave him a temporary happiness. Now, with the clarity of the concept of prosperity, I feel that the temporary sensations from something special did give me nothing but a kind of a dissatisfaction, because again I used to contemplate that what would make me happy and what would make my son happy. So the journey that it started from what I am and what I want to be was something I realized that I'm doing something for a temporary state, but what I want to be is the continuity of happiness and prosperity. So I understood that any escape through sensations or external sources does not give me happiness. So prosperity in the context of value education extends beyond material wealth or financial success. It involves on the holistic growth of an individual and society, encompassing mental and physical well-being. So prosperity is deeply intertwined with ethical values, moral principles, and a sense of responsibility in the larger order. So through value education, prosperity is viewed not merely as an accumulation of resources, but as a state of living that promotes the common goal, personal fulfillment, and the upliftment of the society. So this is how I understood, and this could bring a conscious transformation in myself, where I could realize that my value in the society is something when I add value through my presence. So this was a kind of great learning which I got through when I deeply understood about this concept of prosperity through UHV. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Didi, for a very inspiring sharing. I request Ila Didi to share her comments.
Yeah. Nice, Dr. Swayam Prabhaji. We've been on the panel together and a lot of interactions, nice interactions. And I can see that spark in you also, where you are working towards your own harmony. I can see that. And I really wish you all the best for your entire journey.
Thank you so much, Ilaji, because actually you people have been a lot of inspiration for me as well, because I see you working so hard and unconditionally. That is something which I need to mention for all of you. And congratulations and all my best wishes to you all as well. And stay inspiration for all of us, people like us, who were a little lethargic earlier. And so we also need to be more proactive with you people as our inspirations. Thank you so much.
We all learn from each other.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Didi. We have our next sharing for the session. Dr. Ela Deya is the director of Anveshanam Foundation, a Section 8 company. She has a PhD in textiles and fashion technology, and she's also a PhD guide at the University of Mumbai. She's involved herself in UHV activities since July 2022. It's very nice to have you, Professor. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Soumyadi. I'd just like to start my journey. My topic that I've taken to share is the reality of excellence. I have explored on this word excellence a lot. And currently, as you mentioned, yes, I'm a UHV volunteer and the director of Anveshanam Foundation. I guide PhD students at the University of Mumbai. And to introduce myself, I had a very spiritual and a peace-loving family background, both at the paternal side, my parental side, and my in-law family. Both were joint families, very peacefully and nice. In a way, there was no challenge in my life. Professionally, I have I've been associated to education for the past more than 40 years in this field of textiles and fashion technology. I have experienced many roles in my profession as an IQAC coordinator, heads of department, in charge principal, board of study member, chairperson, visiting faculty, organizing several national and international conferences, keynote speaker, panelist. I've been invited many places in my profession. I also played the role of jury, author. I authored more than 100 peer-reviewed journals, several chapters, several books are published. So along with all this, I had this urge to serve the disabled, the differently abled, the tribal and the rural people, and the underprivileged people in the urban slums. So I took up a lot of projects during my entire tenure of my teaching career. So there's a lot of extension work that I was into. And that was my motivation to teach and to work in the community. So similarly, my own community, I was involved in 4 NGOs, and slowly, gradually, I took up key positions there. I worked very hard in these 40 years in various roles in the family, profession, community, and also spiritually. But however, after all this also, I used to be under stress. And there was always a baggage that was there behind me, because I had a very strong ambition to excel, and name and fame was anyway part and parcel of whatever I was doing. But more than that, I assumed all this was excellence, and I went on working for many years. But yet, because of the stress that was there in my life, I could see that something was missing, and I didn't know what it was. So, but because of that, I used to get very angry very easily if the work is not done as per my expectation, or the work is not done. If anybody else does not meet my expectations, I wouldn't like it. I would say, how can somebody not know this much also? So whether it was students, or whether it was my colleagues, or whether it was my family member, my expectations of work I was very work oriented. It just happened that 6 months before my retirement in July 2020, during the COVID times, I got a chance to participate in a 5-day online FDP where I explored, the different realities. And one of the reality which struck me that time, initially it was very little, but that kept me going. The reality of the human being, the self and body, that really struck me. And I realized that I was putting a lot of efforts because there were a lot of questions which we had to explore within. And I realized this, I got the answer from my own self while I was exploring that yes, I'm putting a lot of efforts on material things which are temporary and not much on the self. I'm not working on the consciousness. I realized that. This just small sparks had started. On the third day, when we were discussing the 9 values, third and the fourth day, the foundational value of trust, I was wondering at that time that how can you trust everyone? But then when the proposal started coming to me, and as I attended more and more workshops and more weekly meetings, through a lot of exploration, a lot of reading, listening to the audios, videos, I realized one thing that yes, everyone intends to make themselves happy and the other happy. Then why is this anger on anyone? Why is this reaction on anyone? So gradually I started working on this on myself, and I soon realized after several exposure to this proposals, I realized that all of us, the other is also similar to me. They also having the same feeling that they want to make themselves happy and the other happy. The difference I found was in the competency, and competency can never be the same. Even I realize that I lack so many competencies, and I'm getting angry on somebody else as if I am a perfect person. And I realize this one thing within me, that there are so many things where I'm going wrong. I'm not able to perform so many aspects. The fact that I'm getting angry on my own daughters or my own spouse, whomever I was able to, I realize one thing, that something is wrong there also. So there is something that is missing in me, which I need to work on. And I explored this a lot. It took me a while to understand this and to see this difference in competency and the similarity in intention. And slowly I started settling within. And I could see the feelings of relationships when I realized this reality. And I was feeling more fulfilled. And I could see that this is excellence. This is taking me towards excellence. And I want to experience it more and more. So whenever I'm aware of myself, then I'm with this proposal. I live this proposal. But very often I forget it also. And then that time I again reflect on it. So family was my priority always. But I was not able to see that I'm not spending more time with them. There is not much interaction. I'm very busy with my own self, with my own work. I used to do the family course and wait for getting back to my work. So, but UHV added a new dimension to me. It gave me a chance to understand relationship. I experimented it with my spouse, with my children, with my in-laws, with everyone in my family, even colleagues, past, present, friends. I experientially validated them, and I could see through my exploration that it was, the feeling of satisfaction, happiness was strengthening with this experience. And then, of course, I attended many workshops. I interacted with mentors at different point of time, attended the morning sessions, the weekly meetings. I constantly went with it, I also prepared for sessions, conducted sessions, FDP, as a team member, as a resource person with faculty, students. I played the role of, the different projects wherever they were as a team member. whether they were regional projects or national projects. It gave me a lot of opportunities to experiment with different teams, with different members who were also exploring. So while exploring the discussions and all, it really helped me a lot. And these experiences, explorations with my friends, community at large, uh, gave me that sense of feeling of happiness. And I could realize that this is excellence. Even when I was looking at the proposal of respect, that the other is similar to me, um, I realized that I am making differences with respect to material things, or with respect to community. I could realize that with positions. And this proposal, I worked on myself. I could see that the purpose, program, and potential are similar. And all of us have differences only in competency. We are all in our own journey, trying to work on our own assumptions that we have made, the many assumptions that we are living with, which we have to rightly evaluate, explore, and develop our right understanding. So I realized that I also need help for all this. Every time I'm leaning to the mentors, every time I'm leaning to the content, I'm leaning to others. So I realized that others also need help. And that's how I realized that we have to help each other. We have to facilitate the journey for each other and to improve our own competencies for self and the other. And I realized that this is excellence. Similarly, when I was going through the feelings of care and guidance, I realized that I'm paying attention to care and then getting back to my work. I'm not paying attention to guidance. But then my focus started strengthening, especially in my family, where I started spending a lot of time with my own daughters, with my grandchildren, and the joy, the happiness, the peace that I'm experiencing, I realized that this is excellence. So when I was in my journey of profession for 40 years, I realized that I was only in competition, and that was not giving me inner happiness. Every time I excel, I aspired something else. But here I can see that it is giving me different insights, and I want to continue this uh, journey. I can see that holistic perspective that I'm developing, and so many problems I can find solutions from within. It is a very solution oriented approach, and and I'm also helping my grandchildren to develop this perspective. I'm working with them also. I'm working with my own daughters also, wherever they are friends, where I'm interacting with my friends. So I try to work on this. Even corporate, I interact because of my NGO. I interact with a lot of people outside. So wherever possible, I take this proposals and interact. And I can see that earlier when I was in competition, uh, even if I've won something or I've got the award or something better, but the next minute I was uncomfortable and so much of stress was being built. But here I can see that I'm feeling more relaxed, I'm more in harmony. And that contribution, that participation that I'm able to make wherever, whether it is externally in the society or whether it is in the family, all my interactions, I can see that shift that has happened, and I can see there is harmony within me. And this journey, of course, is ongoing process. It is not going to definitely stop. It is strengthening more and more. 4 years have passed, and I can experience that shift within me. So, I mean, these are the key insights which have taught me that it is not a competition where I have to prove myself to be better. I have to work on my own self. And this is making me more relaxed because now I'm not competing with anyone. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. It is my journey, and I know what is excellence now. I want to work towards that, and I'm introspecting more and more deeply. Every workshop that I attend, whether it is some else's who's a resource person, or I'm also conducting it, there is so much of exploration. It's giving me great opportunities. And I can notice that this shift that is happening in me, family is also relaxed. I mean, earlier everybody used to be, my conduct was so indefinite. They wouldn't know when I would spark, but now they know that I'm very calm and I don't spark now. I just don't. It just doesn't happen. I don't put any efforts on that. I'm just putting efforts on the right understanding. And my experiences have really, I can say that this entire journey has, I thought I'm retiring and how is this FDP going to help me, this 5-day FDP? But it was a turning point for me and it has redefined my life. It has redefined the purpose of my life. I mean, now I know what I want, and for everything I do, I ask why. So this question, why, whether it is leading to somebody's uh, harmony or is it leading to my own harmony? So those I get involved wherever like this, and I uh, get that energy to work for it. So I see that this is where I'm able to see relationship with many others, which earlier I was working only on myself, but now I can see that the shift that has happened, that I can see that there is a lot of work that has to be done outside. And I'm focusing more within myself and externally to others. And I can see this is the truth of excellence. So all the meaning that I earlier had, um, I mean, has got completely transformed and I'm working towards the true excellence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Didi, for a very encouraging and inspiring, sharing. Like Swam Prabha Didi was saying, even I also, have a very good interaction. I have met you for like very few minutes, I would say. And, the way you actually handled people is, I think that is the reason, like, that's why you are there and you are really helping a lot of people. And we're able to see that there are a lot of people taking inspiration from people like you. And it is encouraging for all of us to work because we really need that kind of, hand holding and it's helping each one get better in our life. So we are very happy to have people like you in our life. So thank you very much, Ila Didi. I would like the others, if you would like to share your comments on Ila Didi's sharing.
Yeah, thank you, Ila Didi, for that wonderful, sharing that you made. And definitely, that understanding of excellence, as many of us also misinterpret it as, being more into like difference between competence and getting into, we are all always into some sort of a competition. And running behind, I mean, after each other and pulling each other down also sometimes. So definitely this concept of excellence is worth understanding. And of course your sharing was very realistic and it was really good. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Swam Prabha Didi. So Didi, can we wind up the session, Ila Didi?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, we can bind.
Okay.
Thank you, each one of you, for your sharings. And we wish you all the best in your own journey and our journey together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ila Didi. Thank you, Parikshit Bhaiya. Thank you, Tara Bhaiya. And thank you, Manu Didi, for the tech support. And the sessions have run very smoothly. Thank you very much. And I thank all the panelists for their active participation. And we've been able to conduct the session very smoothly and completed it successfully. Thank you and namaste to all.
Thank you. Namaste, everybody.